I want to have a quick conversation with you about LightStream versus Universal Credit versus Best Egg. Of course, we are speaking about personal loans, okay? So here are the lenders I want you to think about. First of all, let me talk to you about LightStream. When you think about LightStream, I want you to think about two things. You have a unit, you have a company that's affiliated with a national bank. So the national bank here is a Truist Bank. So LightStream is actually the online division of Truist. And so that's the first thing I want you to think about. The second thing I want you to think about is the fact that Lightstream is really generous. The maximum loan amount you can have through Lightstream is $100,000. Okay, and in terms of APR, they're charging you a 7 to a 25%, and but that's if you choose auto pay. If you want to really reduce your APR, you want to go with the auto pay. That's for sure. And in terms of repayment window, you are looking at 2 years all the way to 7 years, so 24 to 84 months. So that's kind of cool. Now, the only thing you need to really be aware of when it comes to Lightstream is that their minimum credit score is kind of high. So they actually focus on a clientele that has a better credit score. So 675 to 695 actually is the minimum credit score that you actually might need if you want to really qualify with Lightstream. One thing for sure, if you have an existing relationship with banking relationship with Truist, you might actually qualify for a Lightstream loan with an even lower APR, but also lower credit score. Okay, so when you think about Lightstream, think about a lender that gives you a low rate. You have a rate beat program. Okay, so if you actually get a better rate elsewhere, Lightstream will beat the competing offer by 0.10%. So that's kind of cool. That rate beat program is kind of fantastic. There are no fees, so Lightstream doesn't charge any fees, not even an origination fee. And also, as a borrower, you may receive funds as soon as the same day you apply with Lightstream, which is really great for time-sensitive needs. Okay, but so overall, Lightstream is a great player. What we love also is that they basically will want to they will ask for all kinds of information, but once you submit the information, they will be really fast. Now, just remember that Lightstream requires a long credit history. There is no pre-qualification available, and the minimum loan amount is kind of high, so something to really think about. So, how do you qualify for a Lightstream personal loan? Well, the first thing is you got to think about your FICO score, right? As I said, 675, 695 minimum. That's an important element to think about. And the second thing is that if you have a relationship with Truist, the parent company of Lightstream, that's a great advantage too. Okay. And one thing I want to say here is that when you think about applying for a Lightstream loan, what you want to do is you want to get a quote, because Lightstream doesn't offer pre-qualification. It's best to check your score before applying. If you have a strong credit score and income, decide how much you need to borrow and apply, right? And it's usually better if you just contact Lightstream over the phone and ask a question, and you want to add information and finalize your application. So the cool thing is that Lightstream actually, once you have a conversation with them on the phone, they'll give you they'll tell you all the required paperwork, and they'll ask you what kind of pay stubs, what kind of a proof of identification you have to provide, and so that's an important element to think about. And so as I said a little earlier, they actually they approve real fast, so they can approve you within 24 hours. By the way, so that's kind of cool in terms of preference. We love that, and because we love Lightstream for speed, we also think that you should actually contact Lightstream in the first place before applying. So once you are approved, you please read your loan agreement carefully, and because if everything is in order and you want to go forward with the loan, just sign it. If not, you want to go back to them, and you want to have this back and forth so that you can actually iron out all the details. And you also need to provide your funding preferences and banking information to get the funds, right? And Lightstream actually states that borrowers can get same-day funding if they complete these steps before 2:30 Eastern. So 2:30 Eastern every single day. If you're able to get a quote, add information, and finalize your application, review the loan details, and sign your paperwork, you can get your cash actually deposited into your account, checking account, or savings account on the same day. So that's really fantastic. We love that a lot. I want to talk to you now about universal credit. So we're also having a conversation about LightStream versus universal credit versus best egg. So of course we are still talking about personal credit, right? So when you think about universal credit, the limits are a little lower. So instead of $100,000, universal credit is actually capping you at 50 grand. So $50,000. That's the maximum you can have with universal credit. But at least the good thing with universal credit is that the minimum loan amount is kind of low too. I mean, 1,000 compared to with LightStream. Okay, so that's really good. But the flip side is that the APR is really high. So you can see that universal credit actually targets a different target, different audience. You know, like a subprime, so to speak, and or even prime. And so it's important to so their APR goes from 12% to 36%. So this could be a little problematic for someone who has a good credit score. So, but in terms of credit score minimum, Universal Credit will actually consider your application if you have 550 to 580 minimum. So 550 to 580 minimum. In terms of repayment window, Universal Credit will give you a loan where you have to repay within 5 years. 5 years, and in terms of funding, they're really fast too. They are as fast as a LightStream. In other words, you can actually have a next day funding. That's really good. Now the only thing, and that's a big thing that we don't like at all, and we have been fighting. We've been telling them we've been telling Universal Credit in all videos. They charge you an origination fee, and this is kind of high, 5.25%. That means what? It means that if you get approved for a $100,000 loan, you're getting only a 94,000. Like 94,500, something like that. I mean, for some people, it's not big of a deal. But if you are getting maximum you can get is actually 50 grand. That's for sure. But those things add up. Okay, so they charge an origination fee that goes from 5.25% to 9.99%, and also non-prime customers actually pay rates as high as 35.99%. So something to really think about if you are considering universal credit this year. So when you think about universal credit, I want you to think about a lender that's actually great for prime, but also subprime subprime borrowers. Okay, to qualify for this credit, you actually just need to submit a few criteria. Okay, so you got to be a U.S. citizen or a permanent resident, or live in the U.S. with a valid visa. You got to be at least 18 years of age or 19 years in Alabama. You have to provide a valid email address, and you got to have a verifiable bank account. So if you want to actually get your cash real fast, you make sure that you provide a verifiable bank account, because Universal Credit will contact the bank. They will make sure that you indeed have an account with them, and that your account, and that's an important element, that your account is in good standing. So make sure you have no check marks and no check systems issues. So if you want to see if you qualify for a Universal Credit personal loan, you can provide a few personal details to get a quote. And so again, here, unlike LightStream, at least with the Universal Credit, you have the capability to have a pre-qualification, because they do not do a hard pull. They do a soft pull first to see how much you can qualify for. And once you actually once you are comfortable with the whole thing, you can actually get a hard pull. But you first get a soft credit check, and this doesn't impact your credit score. So once you request a quote, you'll be provided with a few offers to choose from. And if you want to move forward with the loan offer, you will still need to submit an official application, and you might be asked to provide additional documentation or details about, let's say, your financial situation, your revenue, your income, your expenses, your like all kinds of personal information. So that's an important element to think about. But remember that you're not going above $50,000. So $50,000, that's the maximum you can actually get through this lender. But hey, listen, it's still high anyway. I mean, Universal Credit is giving you up to $50,000. That's really, really, really good. So we love that aspect of things a lot. So fantastic. Next, I want to talk to you about best egg. So when you think about best egg personal loan, I want you to think about a player that actually can give you up to $50,000 also. Even though there are cases where they might actually lower the amount, okay? But what we love about Next Egg is that you actually will get your cash real fast too. I mean, they also have similar to all the other players. They will have up to 24 hours of funding. So that's kind of cool. So when you close your eyes and think about Best Egg, what kind of pros and cons should you think about? Well, let's first talk about the pluses. So Best Egg looks beyond credit scores to provide loan options for more borrowers. So you can check your rate online and get offers within minutes, and often receive funds in a little as 24 hours. In other words, you also have a pre-qual process possible through LightStream. So that's kind of cool. And there are no prepayment penalties, and borrowers can actually request changes to their payment due date to better fit their budget. So if you're having a problem, if you're having a liquidity problem, if you're having a budgetary problem, and you would like to work with your payment system, your payment strategy with Nest Egg, you can certainly do that. Not a problem. You just have to call them and ask a conversation. So that's really an important element. So what about some of the minuses? Well, Best Egg does charge an origination fee of 0.99% to 8.99%. That's kind of high, really, really high. And loans are not available in all states, so this is a problematic element as well. And also, their best, like their highest APR at 35.99. This is not a sustainable sort of a solution when you really think about it. So Best Egg is aware of that. And one thing for sure, they're just trying to really make sure that they get as many loans at the mid-market level as possible. So to get a Best Egg personal loan, you want to research your loan options, apply online, and review loan offers, and really choose the best loan offer for you. I mean, and that will depend on the kind of loan amount you want, but also the repayment window. So when you think about LightStream versus Universal Credit versus Best Egg, and particularly when you think about Best Egg, what are some of the most praised features with this lender? Well, you have an ease of application process. So the process is really good in terms of application, and also they do have a helpful customer support system. So when I speak about the ease of application process, basically what we have seen with Nest Egg is that Nest Egg, this lender, does have a quick and easy application process. And so the straightforward online application is there. And you also have seamless documentation requirements that are going to help you actually apply and receive funds quickly. So that's kind of fantastic. You also have a great customer support. So customer support at Best Egg is actually known for their professionalism, patience, and clear communication. So that's kind of really, really good. Now, some people are still complaining about the Best Egg not being really transparent, and also around their fee issues. There are some fee issues that you may have in some cases customer service inefficiency, and you might also have response delays. So response delays could be a little problematic if you're having a clear idea about the certain things. That's an important element to think about. So this is one thing we love about this is that you are able to get things done a lot faster. So this is really, really, really cool. One thing I want to say also is that when you think about Best Egg financial, let's say financial offer, I mean their loans and credit cards or what have you. I mean not credit cards, their loans. You have to think about the fact that you have flexibility. So you can use the cash for debt consolidation, for refinancing credit card debt, for paying for home improvement projects, including upgrades or repairs, covering medical bills, moving or relocation costs, vacations, paying taxes, and financing other large sort of transactions. So bottom line is you do have freedom. That's for sure. So LightStream versus Universal Credit versus Best Egg. Which one should you go for? Which lender should you go for? Well, the thing is that you first want to really, when you think about choosing a personal loan provider, you want to think about the reputation of the lender. That's an important element. I mean, because if you are going with the lender and the lender has a crappy negative reviews online, are you sure you want to go with that lender? Not sure. Not That's definitely not the right path here. So lender reputation is really important. Okay, you want to think about the trustworthiness. You want to think about how fast they disperse the funds. You want to think about actually your current situation, your income level as well, because not every client, if you will be approved by lenders anyway. So basically, you gotta really understand the loan application process with every single lender of the three. So this is an important element so that you can actually increase your chances of being approved over time. So that's an important element to think about. And you also want to assess the lender flexibility. So it's an important element. So flexibility in terms of hidden fees, consequences of defaulting. So we're speaking about default fees, loan insurance and add-ons, and also modification procedures. For instance, when you talk about hidden fees, you want to examine the agreement for concealed charges that may not be immediately evident, and these fees could include early repayment penalties, late payment charges, and loan origination fees. So you also have consequences of defaulting, and this is an important element that a lot of banks are really paying attention to this year. For them, this is an important element. So you want to understand the repercussions of failing to meet loan obligations, including the lender's policy regarding a late payment, defaults, payment charges, and loan origination fees. So this is an important element. And you also have a loan insurance and add-ons. So one thing for sure, before choosing between a LightStream and Universal Credit and Best Egg, you got to really also think about the lender flexibility, okay? And the thing is that when we talk about the lender flexibility, of course, I spoke to you a little earlier about the add-ons, the loan insurance and add-ons, the modification procedures, also the consequences of defaulting. So when some lenders are stricter when it comes to defaulting versus others. So this is something to really think about. So overall, what is the selection here? So LightStream versus Universal Credit versus Best Egg. Which one should you go for? In our view, the best player in today's conversation is actually a Best Egg. LightStream is kind of cool when it comes to a higher loan amount, that's for sure. Universal Credit is somewhere in between, but Best Egg has more capabilities, and also the funding process is really fast as well. So, and by the way, you also have a loan application process that revolves around a soft pull, so you can actually get pre-qualified for a loan before actually supplying all the information and having your like having a hard pull. Okay, so overall, our preference is Best Egg. So when you think about LightStream versus Universal Credit versus Best Egg, think about Best Egg primarily. So here's a quote out here. In today's conversation, I spoke to you about LightStream versus Universal Credit versus Best Egg. And I give you the lenders. I give you some information about the lenders. Then we actually looked at the approach, the selection, and now the quota. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.